The prestigious Lambert Memorial Hospital's annual Christmas dinner filled the grand conference room with the elite of medical society. Crystal glasses clinked as doctors, surgeons, and board members celebrated another successful year. At the head table sat my mother, Dr. Catherine Lambert, Chief of Surgery, basking in her medical dynasty's glory. I adjusted my simple black dress, checking my phone discreetly. Message from my executive assistant. Paperwork complete. Announcement in 45 minutes. Sarah. My mother's voice cut through the chatter. I'm surprised you came. After your academic setbacks. My sister Emma, the brilliant neurosurgeon, smirked from beside her. Must be hard watching all these successful doctors when you failed medical school twice. I slipped my phone away. Hello, Mom. Emma. Merry Christmas. Failed medical school twice, Mom reminded everyone within earshot. Now she's doing some sort of, what is it again, dear? Medical technology. Healthcare innovation, I corrected quietly. Playing with computers, Emma translated. While real doctors save lives. The surrounding tables had grown quiet, listening. Mom's annual Christmas dinner wasn't just a celebration. It was a display of medical hierarchy, and I was firmly at the bottom. Remember when you couldn't even pass basic anatomy? Mom continued, loud enough for the neighboring tables. While Emma was top of her class? I checked my phone again. 30 minutes until the announcement. At least she found something to do, Dr. Anderson, a board member, offered kindly. Even if it's not real medicine. Real medicine, Mom seized on the phrase. Exactly. Hands-on patient care, surgical excellence. That's the Lambert legacy. Not computer programs. I watched her sip her wine, wondering how it would taste when she learned what those computer programs had achieved. Speaking of legacy, Emma straightened in her chair. Mom, shouldn't we tell everyone the news? Mom brightened. Yes. The board is naming Emma as my successor for Chief of Surgery. Keeping excellence in the family. More congratulations flowed. More crystal clinked. I checked my watch. 20 minutes. It's what we always wanted, Mom continued. A real doctor to carry on the Lambert name. Though we did try with you first, Sarah. Twice. The reminder of my medical school failures stung less now, cushioned by what was coming. How's your little startup doing? Emma asked with fake concern. Still working from that small office? If only they knew about the gleaming 40-story headquarters downtown. It's fine, I said. We're making progress. Progress, Mom scoffed. While your sister performs groundbreaking surgeries, you're playing with medical apps. My phone vibrated. Board memo prepared. System changeover complete. You know, Sarah, Mom leaned forward. It's not too late. With your father's connections, we could get you into pharmaceutical sales. At least that's healthcare adjacent. I'm happy with my path, Mom. Happy. She laughed. Darling, happiness doesn't pay hospital bills. Real medical careers do. Right, Emma? Emma preened. Speaking of which, Mom, wait until you hear about my new surgical protocol. The board's implementing it hospital-wide next month. I hid a smile. There wouldn't be any new protocols next month. At least not Emma's. The hospital administrator approached our table looking nervous. Dr. Lambert, there's an emergency board meeting notification. Mom pulled out her phone, frowning. On Christmas? What could be so? She froze, staring at her screen. Emma leaned over to look, then dropped her fork with a clatter. This must be a mistake, Mom whispered. What is it? Dr. Anderson asked. A board meeting announcement. Mom's voice shook. Introducing new owner, your daughter. But that's impossible. The room had gone silent. All eyes turned to me as I stood smoothly. Not impossible, Mom. Just unexpected. Like those computer programs you dismissed. You. Emma stuttered. You can't own the hospital. You're not even a doctor. No, I agreed. I'm something more valuable. I'm the person who revolutionized medical technology while you were mocking my failures. Mom's hands trembled. The Meditech acquisition last month. The billion-dollar merger. Was me, I finished. Or did you not read the CEO's name? Too busy planning Emma's succession? The administrator cleared his throat. The board's waiting in the main conference room, Ms. Lambert. Sarah, Mom reached for me. We should discuss this as a family. Like you discussed my future as a family? Making decisions about my life over Christmas dinner. I straightened my jacket. Oh, Mom. Now we discuss this as owner and employee. My phone lit up with another message. Everything ready. Time to show them the future. I looked at my mother's shocked face, my sister's crumpled superiority, and typed back. Yes. Show them exactly what their failure built. The main conference room's atmosphere crackled with tension. Board members filed in, their festive mood evaporated. My mother sat rigid in her usual seat, while Emma clutched her surgical department reports, now worthless papers, in the face of what was coming. Before we begin, I said from the head of the table, her seat until now, let's review some numbers. The wall screens lit up with Meditech's achievements. AI diagnostic systems, automated surgical planning, patient care algorithms, everything they dismissed as playing with computers. Impossible, Emma whispered, staring at the revenue figures. These systems, they're revolutionizing medicine. Yes, I agreed. While you were performing one surgery at a time, my computer programs were transforming thousands of surgeries globally. Every day. Mom found her voice. But you failed medical school. Twice. I failed at becoming the doctor you wanted, I corrected. So I became something more powerful, someone who changes how all doctors work. The screens showed more data. Success rates, reduced complications, improved patient outcomes. Every metric that mattered to them revolutionized by the systems they'd mocked. Your surgical protocol, Emma. I pulled up her proposal. The one you were so excited about. Our AI predicted its flaws 3 months ago. The same flaws that would have appeared in human trials. She paled. You can't know that. Actually, I can. Our systems simulate millions of surgical scenarios in minutes. Something even the great Dr. Emma Lambert can't do. The board chairman cleared his throat. The acquisition numbers, Ms. Lambert. $8 billion, I said calmly. Plus another $2 billion in technological integration. Mom's hand flew to her throat. $8 billion. Your entire hospital budget is a rounding error in my quarterly reports, Mom. Dr. Anderson leaned forward. These systems, they're already implemented? In over 2,000 hospitals worldwide, I confirmed. Except here. Mom rejected our proposal last year. Remember, Emma? You said it was glorified software. Emma studied her hands. That rejection had been her first act as department head. Now, I continued, let's discuss changes. First, the surgical department. Wait. Mom stood up. You can't just walk in and dismantle everything we've built. This hospital has a legacy. A legacy of resistance to innovation, I noted. Your surgical mortality rates are 23% higher than hospitals using our systems. Still think I'm just playing with computers? The board members shifted uncomfortably. They knew the numbers were true. As for dismantling, I pulled up new organizational charts. Emma, your department will be the first to implement our AI systems. Full integration, complete retraining. Under whose leadership? She demanded. Dr. Sarah Chin from Mayo Clinic. She's been using our systems for 2 years. Unlike you, she embraces innovation. Emma collapsed back into her chair. Her carefully planned career trajectory shattered. Mom, I turned to her. Your position as chief of surgery. You wouldn't dare, she whispered. You're right, I agreed. I wouldn't fire you. Instead, you'll report to Dr. Chin. She'll teach you how modern medicine works. The room erupted in whispers. The great Dr. Catherine Lambert reporting to someone else? My phone buzzed. Message from my CFO. Stock up 40% on integration news. Your net worth just hit $15 billion. This is revenge, Emma accused. For all the times we doubted you. No, I said quietly. This is evolution. Medicine isn't about individual surgical glory anymore. It's about systematic improvement, data-driven decisions, and leaving egos at the door. Mom's hands trembled. Everything I worked for will be enhanced, I finished. If you can adapt your surgical skills combined with our AI, you could help more patients than ever. If you're willing to learn. Learn, she scoffed. From computer programs? No, Mom. From your failure of a daughter. The doors opened as my technical team entered, brilliant minds ready to transform the hospital. Ladies and gentlemen, I address the board. Meet your future. These people will lead the integration of Meditech systems across all departments. But we're family, Emma tried one last time. Doesn't that mean anything? Family. I raised an eyebrow. Like when you told every medical student about my failures. Or when Mom used my rejections as cautionary tales at medical conferences. They had the grace to look ashamed. The screens filled with global news. Meditech revolutionizes Lambert Memorial. Failed medical student becomes hospital mogul. AI meets MD. The future of medicine. You have choices, I said finally. Mom, Emma, you can learn our systems, embrace the future and help more patients than ever. Or you can leave. Unlike you, I believe in giving people second chances. Mom looked around her kingdom now transformed. And if we stay? Then prove that the great Dr. Lambert can learn from failure. Show Emma that innovation matters more than ego. Be the doctors who help usher in medicine's future instead of clinging to its past. The board members nodded in approval. They'd seen the numbers. The future was clear. The press conference starts in an hour. I checked my phone. Should I announce that Lambert Memorial's finest are joining the revolution? Or leaving it? Mom and Emma exchanged looks. Their medical empire transformed by the daughter they'd dismissed. The choice was theirs. The next morning's headlines blazed across medical journals and mainstream media alike. Medical dynasty disrupted. Failed student becomes hospital mogul. The irony wasn't lost on anyone in the healthcare industry. The Lambert family's failure had just revolutionized their entire world. I sat in my new office, formerly the hospital's executive suite, now transformed into a command center of medical innovation. Holographic displays showed real-time AI diagnostics across our global network. My mother's precious oak desk replaced by a smart console that could monitor thousands of surgeries simultaneously. Ms. Lambert, my assistant called. Your mother and sister are here. They've made their decision. I nodded, watching their approach on the security feed. Gone were yesterday's confidence struts. Send them in. They entered like chastened students rather than medical royalty. Mom's surgeon's coat seemed to weigh heavily on her shoulders. Emma clutched a tablet, her fingers nervously tapping its surface. Please sit, I gestured to the visitor chairs. I assume you've seen the morning reports? Everyone has, Emma said quietly. CNN, Forbes, New England Journal of Medicine. How a failed medical student revolutionized healthcare. The Wall Street Journal's piece was particularly interesting, I noted. Lambert Memorial, a case study in medical hubris versus innovation. Mom flinched. Sarah, about yesterday, about everything. Save it, I held up a hand. Your actions over the years spoke clearly enough. The question is, what happens now? I pulled up their personnel files on the main screen. Their careers, achievements, and most importantly, their futures hung in the digital balance. Mom straightened her spine, finding some of her old authority. We want to stay. Stay. I raised an eyebrow. Or learn. Both, Emma interjected. I reviewed the AI surgical planning systems last night. They're incredible. The way they predict complications, optimize procedures. The same systems you called glorified software? She had the grace to blush. I was wrong. We both were. Mom stood, moving to the window overlooking the hospital grounds. 25 years, she mused. I've been chief of surgery for 25 years, thinking I knew everything about medicine. And now. She turned back, eyes glistening. And now my failure of a daughter showed me I knew nothing about medicine's future. My phone buzzed. Another stock alert. Meditech shares up another 30% on international expansion news. You want to stay? I pulled up new contracts. Here are my terms. They leaned forward. Mom, you'll work directly under Dr. Chen learning our AI systems. No title, no special treatment. Just a surgeon learning to be better. She nodded slowly. Emma, you'll head our AI integration team, not as a leader but as a student. Your surgical skills combined with our technology could save thousands more lives. If you can let go of your ego. And if we accept? Emma asked. I stood, walking to the holographic displays. Then you join the future, where one AI-assisted surgeon can do the work of 10 traditional ones. Where medical decisions are based on millions of data points, not just personal experience. The screens showed operating rooms worldwide, all connected, all learning from each other in real time. While you were mocking my failures, I continued, I was building this. A system that makes every doctor better, every surgery safer, every hospital more efficient. Mom approached the displays, watching in awe as AI systems guided surgeons across the globe. This is why you left medical school. Yes, I said simply. I realized I could help more people by changing how medicine works than by becoming another surgeon. And us? Emma asked. Can we really be part of this? I typed commands and their contracts appeared on their tablets. That depends. Can the great Dr. Lambert learn from her failure of a daughter? Can the brilliant Emma admit she's not the future of medicine? She's just part of it. They stared at their contracts. Years of medical hierarchy meeting the democratic future of healthcare. I'll learn, Mom said quietly. Really learn. Not just pretend while clinging to the old ways. Emma nodded. Me too. These systems, they're the future. I want to be part of that. I watched them sign these two proud doctors humbled by innovation. Welcome to Meditech. Training starts tomorrow. Sarah, Mom stepped forward. I know it's too late, but I'm sorry. We were so wrong. Yes, you were, I agreed. But unlike you, I believe failure is just the first step toward success. My phone lit up with another message. Global expansion approved. Ready to announce phase 2. I looked at my mother and sister. Once my biggest critics, now my employees. Go get ready for tomorrow. Dr. Chin doesn't tolerate tardiness, even from former chiefs of surgery. They turned to leave, then Mom paused. You know, I always wanted you to change medicine. I just never imagined you'd do it like this. That was the problem, Mom. You could only imagine medicine one way. I imagined it differently. After they left, I turned back to the global display of connected operating rooms, AI systems, and improved patient outcomes. Sometimes the biggest success comes from understanding that failure is just a different path to revolution. And in medicine, revolution means saving more lives than any single doctor ever could.